Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Kal Halal, Wahawad La, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Waha, Rachaha Kodash. Double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops and the elders at the Great Millstone, GMS, who rule well and who teach well, laboring in this word and doctrine, and are our true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. Salutations to the hopeful elect out there noising this gospel abroad and lifting up the standard of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, wherever they may be. All right, in sincerity and in truth and in honesty. Yahweh Shai is coming back soon. Okay. Abba Ratazah, which means Father willing. So Father willing, this lesson is edifying. So this article from yahoo.com, Yahoo News, Mass Live, US Secret Service official, threat environment highest we've ever seen for Trump, others. This was dated today, Thursday, the 23rd of July, 2026, the era of sellouts, apostates, and agents. All right. Let's go into the article. Threats to the protectees, including President Donald Trump, under protection of the US Secret Service, is the highest we've ever seen, one senior official said. What we're seeing now is something I've never seen before. The senior official, who spoke to reporters at a background briefing on the condition that they not be identified by name before a public briefing, said, per CNBC. According to the report, there have been about 10,000 cases involving threats to government officials, including Supreme Court justices, so far in 2026. The official said, according to a pool report of the briefing by MS Now. See, when you start to see something like this, usually saying, by the time they sound the alarm to the public, it's at a point where they're like, you can lightly expect to see something happen sooner or later. That represents a 40% increase in cases over the same period last year, cites the report. They're increasing in volume and complexity. The official said a week after Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney Barrett told the House subcommittee that the threat level to her and other federal judges is really high. The report comes just days before hundreds of former retired journalists and 8 press freedom groups are asking the White House correspondents, associations to stand up to the Trump administration's recent attacks on the media. At its rescheduled dinner this week, a dinner President Donald Trump says he'll attend. The first dinner was cut short in April when a gunman who prosecutors say was trying to assassinate Trump, oh yeah, you had that, opened fire at the Washington Hill. The much smaller rescheduled dinner will take place on Friday, with enhanced security precautions at the Capitol's Waldorf Astoria Hotel, formerly the Trump International Hotel. Oh, interestingly enough, they're doing the whole merging Israeli forces and the US. Yeah, this guy Benjamin Netanyahu is right there. We know he's the one pulling Donald Trump's strings anyway. So Donald is just the face, the footman. Alright. The letter expands on a similar one issued in April before the first dinner. It notes that since then, the administration's attacks on journalists and press freedom have become even more egregious. The Secret Service, meanwhile, has seen the number of mental health committals of people suspected of making threats to protectees spike by a factor of 10, according to the official. You had the Houthi blockade of the Bab el Mandab Strait, which Iran did warn, they would, they would have them close it down. Should they continue to keep getting bombed? What happened? They continued to keep getting bombed. All right, that did take place. Okay. All right. Earlier this year, gas prices increased. That was the beginning of the conflict. That gas prices going up, it started to look bad. All right. Then strategic reserves, oil reserves, were being released. The strait got closed, but as you can see, Saudi Arabia, which produces a lot of oil, started to reroute through the Red Sea. So there was still some level of cushion that was out there, as well as the reserves, some of these other countries, and finding ways around, the strait, that came on top of them. So-called making a deal, or getting close to striking a deal, having a ceasefire with Iran and some and sort of cooling things down a bit there as well. So that's why the prices you saw started to decrease and then decrease and then decrease. Donald Trump came and announced the deal, and then oil prices dropped. Blah blah blah. All right, now they're back up again. But yeah, now the escalation is much more than it was before. Yeah. So the prices you saw before, should this continue, are gonna go higher than that. All right. The pain you felt before is going to be more because it's not just the escalation that is higher than before, but you don't have any more of the reserves. Saudi Arabia is now not being able to provide that extra cushion like before as much, because now they have to reroute instead of going through the Bab el Mandab Strait. They've got to try and go back up through the Suez Canal. And not too long ago, actually, a ship was stuck up there, which there were reports about how that, could have caused damage. Okay. So yeah. And, what you see now is causing a heck of a lot more damage. Okay. Not long ago, they published a plan for rationing energy, basically energy L down. So it's just about, the right opportunity, to implement that as this war continues to escalate. Okay. We got from RT News, Zelensky sacks Ukraine's top general Syrskyi. That was on the 21st. All right. This is the book of the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come. An end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. These are the times we're in now, the time of evil. A lot of prophetic things are taking place. We're certainly in an evil time. All right. See, what we're talking about right now is world events, and that is going to affect the world. Trying to find carnal means out of this is not going to be a solution. All right. Seeking divine help from the Lord is the best and really the only solution. Okay. So much happening, man. So much happening. Okay. House passes $1.15 trillion. If I'm reading that right. Military bill with Israel provision. Israel will decline to join any ground operations Americans might launch in Iran. Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock, small hats, shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Yes, the Lord is going to use Amalek, right? The JJs, the 1948ers, to get the Third World War kicked off. America's going to go right into World War III, and they're going to lose. And really, everyone's going to lose. Of course, Yahweh Shemir Shai is going to reign supreme. All right, the nation of Israel will be in rulership next. Okay, with the elect. All right, underneath Yahushua, King David. All right. All right, you got the apostles, and so forth on down. Cancer causing heavy metal detected in 100% of rice products tested. Bread is defiled, man. Miracle WEED eliminated 95% of cancer cells in clinical trials with zero toxicity until Big Pharma buried it. People's voice. Hacked Klaus Schwab video exposes King Charles drinking Charles blood. Media blackout. That's what they do. They consume blood. Eat babies. That's what the elites do, man. All right. Fill in the blank, blackmail, blood rituals. His files expose a whole host of elite names, including his close friend, King Charles, at Schwab's table, eating human flesh, drinking Charles' bloods, enjoying it like a plate of steak and a glass of Malbec. See, evil is nothing to these people. That's nothing to them. Just like how you open a door, walk outside. Doing things like this is nothing to them. Now Schwab is running to the Geneva police like a scared rat, demanding special privileges, demanding protection from the baying mob, but it's not going to save him. See if this video stays on YouTube. Because the spies aren't outsiders. They're family, the children of the WEF, World Economic Forum. Founders and senior executives have turned on their elders. Their leaks already forced Schwab out as WEF chairman last year, but they're not content with destroying his career. They say with evidence like this, Klaus and King Charles must spend the rest of their lives in a cage. And now we lay out the case for the prosecution. The smoking gun, eyewitness testimony, the evidence that locks these two PDF files away for good. This is the people's voice, and tonight, yeah. And Charles has been placed at the scene of various crimes by witnesses prepared to testify against him. See, they're not in trouble as other men. The scripture says, do all this, right? Get away scot-free. When it comes to the kingdom, oh boy, man. Yeah, it's going to be brutal. Scripture talks about thine heart shall meditate terror. I'm going to think of ways of murking you up in righteousness, man. Oh, it's going to be so horrific, but in righteousness. Including as a guest on Epstein Island, footage captured by John McAfee shortly before his suspicious death blows Charles' role in the Epstein cover-up wide open. Yeah, let me get Jeremiah. Jeremiah chapter 49 verse 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. So these devils are being exposed. Big time. From all angles, man. Okay? All this information is coming out, and people have access to it. See? Even on alternative media sites. To show you how these people who claim to have the highest IQ do these type of things. You see? That's why we need Yahushua to come hit the reset button. End this society. It's cruel, man. Are you happy seeing Moes walk around and Transformers? Are you happy? Are you okay with that? And women telling men what to do? Because I can't stand it. Right? See, we're coming in that... We're vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. We're coming in that same spirit as Lot. If you're not in that spirit, then you need to check yourself. These people are cruel and disgusting and vile. That's it. Psalms chapter 94 verse 3. Yahweh, how long shall the wicked triumph? It's going to get worse and worse and worse. Scripture talks about because iniquity, which is sin upon sin, shall abound. The love of many shall wax cold. You see? And, you know, we're seeing more and more, you know, people becoming psychotic and check news articles out and stuff like that. Right? This devil is the wicked, man. The so-called WHITE, man. Alright? Needs to be put down. They're not fit to rule, man. They're not fit to manage. They're not fit to govern. It's clear. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. Or shall I say it's not rocket science? It's taking a different turn, but that's the spirit. Let's go straight to the point. First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 9, and after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, so did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Yeah. Evils were multiplied in the earth, man. Alexander the Great, the creep. These people come into power, man. Evil were multiplied in the earth. That's why I see the state of things as it is now. This straight father wears skirts and heels to work. Looks a hell of a lot like Jeff Bezos. Could be him. That's what they do, man. The weirdos. You know, so-called WHITE man likes to put makeup on and put wigs on like the women and cross-dress and, you know, dress up like that. Like women. State Department issues worldwide caution for Americans due to Middle East war. It's going to turn up more and more over there in Western Asia, so-called Middle East. 73% of Earth's wildlife has been lost in just 50 years. The Lord is going to destroy them that destroy the earth. I don't have to go much further. These articles speak for itself. The Nissan Altima or Altima is being discontinued after 2026. World Star. This could be a separate lesson. Contamination range from 10 ppb to 167 ppb of inorganic arsenic. Basmati organic rice. So your things that are so-called organic ain't really organic. Anyway, I'm going to end the lesson there. I'm going to say Shalom to the Lord's elect. Kal Halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Waha Racha Kodash, and a bad babal.